Hello, everyone. My name is Mr. Allen. This is Intro to Game Design B. It's week 4, February 21st, 2017. Hello, everyone. My name is Mr. Allen. Oh, boy. Got some feedback there. Sorry, let me just get everything running quickly. All right. Okay. Now, can you hear me? Anybody there? Hope so. Because I'm just going to keep talking. I think these are the correct. Oh. I guess I can't see your comments unless I have this open. Yeah, sorry about the infinite insanity. Okay. Good enough. There we go. All right, so everybody's here, or everybody that's coming, I guess. What's up, Flynn? So we got Flynn, Hunter, Parker, me, and I think that's it today. Yeah, let's start with the announcement today, guys. So if you want to go, I'll give you a few minutes. Go to the week 4. I just posted a link. That's really all I can tell you at the moment. So in case you haven't heard, you can check week 4, check the link. One of our concept artists has passed away, I think Thursday night. And go ahead and read this whole page. I don't really have any more information. I'm repeating. Let me stop that somehow. Is it bad? Because I don't know why it's doing that. Okay. Well, anyways, so that's the news. Yeah, I hate to have to tell you guys. They pulled me aside the other day. I was at a meeting, and I was just waiting for the official response. This is it. I don't know if any of you guys knew her. But even if you didn't, there's going to be a bunch of counselors and psychologists, and you can talk to me if you need somebody to talk to. You can call your school. You can go into school. You can call your school or call Gina Wickwire. Yeah, if you guys want to talk to somebody, call Gina. Call your local school, or you can chat with me later. It's hard to lose somebody, especially somebody that's your peers. So if you didn't know her, she was one of our concept artists, and I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the details of anything. So try not to spread rumors. I don't know any more details. Maybe your school does. They just told me that's what's up. Inform you guys if you need help. Go, there's plenty of people to talk to. to say? Oh yeah, I only met up with her a few times, but she was really nice and seemed like she really enjoyed this class. So hopefully, if we finish this game, we can dedicate it to her. I know she was, enjoying creating all the art and stuff. So that's a bad way to start the day, but today's going to be a little short anyways. I don't have a huge lesson planned. Yeah, if we could dedicate it, I know. That was like my first thing I thought about. I'm like, okay, well, that's going at the end of the game for sure, or at the beginning. But her parents wanted her to be remembered for her smile, her artistic talent, and her love for the school and laughter. So I think we're going to try to plant a tree at the Temecula campus because that's where she was. That was her main campus or whatever. So hopefully, I know today's the first day back for everybody in Temecula, and they're all having. They had an assembly, I think, about it, and they had a bunch of counselors, and they're gonna, I think, figure out what they want to do for a memorial. But I'll keep you guys posted if there's any more info on it. I don't know if any of you guys are super tight, but it is rough. So let me know if you need any help, or reach out to whoever you need to. There's plenty of help. All right, you guys okay? Kind of hard to teach a class after that, but I'll try. All right. Yeah, again, I don't know the circumstances. I don't know what, Yeah, you're right. Okay. Yeah, just these things happen, and hopefully we can remember her the right way and dedicate something to her. I know. Yeah, so let me know if you need to talk more. And if I get any more info, I'll share it with you, of course. So I'll keep it kind of short today. I don't have, unless you guys have any requests that you want to learn some stuff. I was looking at your guys's models and stuff, and some of them were pretty good, pretty impressive. So I'm gonna have to log in with Firefox real quick. One second. Oops. Okay. Okay. So, how do you guys feel about? Yeah, I know. You've been having a rough time too. Oh, my new computer is amazing, by the way. I'm super excited. Like, it can just run everything at once and never slow down, and it can run every game on Ultra. And I've yet to run into a problem. So I've yet to run into anything it can't handle. So I'm really excited about my computer. I know you guys have been having a rough week or two as well, so it's understandable. And then on top of that, I've been sick for like going on 2 weeks now. I can play any game. I'm on ultra settings, I haven't found any that I can't play yet. So we can play whatever. I was playing games and it's running things at like 120 frames a second. So on ultra on a 4K monitor. So it's kind of ridiculous, but. Oh, well, here's an example. So some of you guys are getting pretty good at modeling. I know not all of you guys are modelers, but I think this was Nathan Damano that did this one. I don't know if we're gonna wind up using any guns in our game. Probably not, to make it more, make it a T for teen game. If we did, I think this is really well done. He did it in pieces, so you could slide the clip out. The top piece is separate, so it can be animated to shoot as it should be. He used kind of a different style of modeling, but that's fine. And if you look at it, we got 1,000 tries for this part, about 1,000 for that. So it's about 2,000 tries, which is pretty low. That's about the resolution I want to see for objects, important objects. If they're less important, obviously you can go a lot less res. Yeah, where's your axe too? Hold on, I have that too. Oh, another thing, you guys, when you're submitting models, and if they have textures on them, I need the texture. Otherwise, I get this kind of thing. But I can see it's a nice quality axe. See, you kept it under 2,000 tries. That's perfect. And this is what I mean. Like, only add cuts like you did here. You only added cuts when you needed to change the shape. So the more of a curve, the more cuts you got to add. There's no point in adding extra geometry if you don't need it. So this is well done too. If those aren't all merged together, you might want to merge those together. And same at the bottom. But I like it. I think we could use the axe, right? If not for killing, for chopping things down. But here's an issue. Your unwrap it's too many pieces. So there's your textures. Okay, there's a few more things I need to cover with you guys. I kind of just said, hey, do this, like model something real quick. I'm assuming this is your diffuse, and this is, I'm not even sure actually. Here, let me explain some things. So your texture map is going to be this. This is what you're going to put a texture on. You're going to have to unwrap it better because each polygon is separate, so your texture won't flow properly. Oh, I see where you put it down here. Give me 1 second. Well, at any rate, I'm not even going to bother. I'll take a look at it later. But so when you're doing textures, where is your comments? Hold on. There we go. I don't know. If you want to know any more details about Kayla, call the school. Other than that, that's all the info I really have, guys. I think it's up to her parents. They don't really want to divulge all the details. They just want you to know that she's not here anymore and to remember her in a good way. So they're not giving me any more details than that. But let's see. So a few things. Your unwrap is going to be too scattered. So I'm not sure how you did your unwrap. Let's see. Ooh, yikes. There might be an issue with the model. Let's see. Sometimes if you have a bunch of vertices, they might not be actually welded together. So you can go select them all, make sure you have vertices selected, and I think you go to mesh, vertices, merge. Oh, no, you do remove doubles is right here. Remove doubles. So if there's two that are right next to each other but not sewed together, that should do it. It didn't do it. Okay, you're gonna have to do a different type of unwrap instead of the smart one. Because that's not good enough for you. You can try, let me see. You can try messing with these angles and stuff. And see if you can get. No, it won't do that. So you have to do it the way that I originally said. You'll have to do a normal unwrap. Either just click unwrap or do one of these other ones like cylinder or sphere. If you just do unwrap, it's giving you that. Let's try cylinder. So now it's all kind of connected. And then you basically just got to go in there and tell it where to cut. You have to mark your seams manually. And you can do that by, which thing was out of my way. There we go. I don't know how you got your screens flipped, but whatever. Let's see, 1 second. So you want to turn this on. I don't know if it's on right there. So when you change something here, it'll change it there. There you go. So click this little keep UV and edit mode mesh selection and sync. That way when you are clicking over here, it doesn't hide all your mesh. All your UVs. So now you've got it kind of unwrapped in big chunks. I used the cylinder projection for that. You can try different ones, but okay, so it doesn't look bad, really. The handle looks, the axe head looks fine, right? But you can see since all these little polygons are not sewed together, you can see how the wood doesn't flow. You can see each individual poly, right? The model's cool. I like how you did the shiny edge to it. But it's just the unwrap that's why I made you guys do the unwrap, because it's always the hard part. So, but yeah, you can see where you would ideally want, the wood grain to be able to flow all the way through, but you can only do that if your unwrap is done properly. And if there's like scratches on it, you want them to be able to go all the way through instead of, just randomly jumping around. So I'm not going to spend a million years on this, but I'll just show you the basics of how you would get to that point. So you would go to, instead of, obviously the Smart Project didn't work for you, which it usually won't if it's a fairly complex object. So once you have your UV open, you make sure it's synced up with this button right here. And then also you go into options on this side and go into live unwrap. That'll let you choose which edges, and then the thing will unfold itself. So I will just go to my edge selection, and then I'll choose where I want to put the edge. I'm gonna have to put a cut all the way down this thing, so it's your call if you want it on the inside or the outside. Probably this side if the player is going to be looking at the other side more often. And then you can just click an edge and then hold Alt, and it'll select the loop all the way around. And you can see right here, it selected that edge. Obviously, this is a crazy unwrap, but it's got the edge selected. Let's see, make sure it has top and looks like all the way to the end. And then once you got, say I want to mark that as my seam now. So basically that's where you would cut it. If you go back to the bearskin rug analogy, this is where you'd be cutting the bear to unfold him. So you go to mesh, edges, and then you go mark seam right here. And you, oh, what the heck? There's something going on with yours that's making it wacky. Because that shouldn't explode like that. I'm gonna have to look into why yours is doing that. I'll get back to you, but generally that's how you would do it. You would do that. You'd mark all your seams like that. So you probably want a seam right at the middle, but I'm assuming it's going to do the same thing. Yeah, there's something strange about yours. I haven't seen that before. Texture by selecting parts of the item. Yeah, that's not how you're gonna do it. I'm not sure how you modeled it that it came to be a problem like that. Let me just show you real quick what I'm talking about. So I can start from scratch and just show you. Blender, where are you? See how fast Blender opens? Okay, so let me just show you real quick what I'm talking about. I'll just do it on this monkey, in case you guys didn't realize there's a monkey in here. So I would make sure I go to tabbed into edit mode, go into options here, have your live unwrap selected, and then go to mesh, unwrap. It doesn't really matter what kind. Hold on. I do the basic unwrap because I don't want it to go into pieces. That might have been, I don't know. It might have been the problem if you unwrapped it too many times and it got separated into islands. I'm not a Blender pro, but I know it enough now. But let me just show you how it would go. So I press unwrap, regular unwrap, and it looks like a big blob. Now I basically just have to tell it where I want to cut. something like this. Again, this button will make it so you can look through it or not. Make sure that keep UVs up to date thing is clicked. I would basically cut down the monkey's head all the way. Well, let's say I wanted to do that. I probably wouldn't cut his face, but let's say that's what I wanted to do because I just held Alt and it looped. So you can go to Mesh, Edges, and then Mark Seam. And see how it automatically unwrapped it for me? That's kind of what we're looking for. And then obviously you need to go in here and fix the ears too, because the ears have a lot of detail. And you might just want to put a cut through the inside of the ear or something like that. But then let me do the ear. Go this way. Well, since the inside of the ear is going to be a different color, it might not matter. Or I can cut basically up the ear. The goal is to hide your seams. This isn't a really good job because I'm not really hiding my seams very well. But let's say I want to cut those out. I'm going to Mesh, Edges, and then mark my seam. And you can see it kind of cut it out. Kind of wonky. That's not really the way you want to do it, but there's less stretching. Then you can kind of go in and see which ones are stretching still. So these ones, you might need to make a cut here. You play with it. So I'm not sure where the axe went wrong, but does that make a little more sense? Pretty much, yeah. So if it's a cylinder, just think, what would it take if I had a cylinder made out of cardboard and an X-Acto knife? How would I cut this thing to be able to fold it flat, you know? For a cylinder, basically you cut one side and the thing unwraps, right? If it's a monkey head, it's a little more difficult. Oh, then that's exactly what happened. So, okay, I can probably fix yours then. All you do is you go in there, select the whole thing again, go to, see, that's where we went wrong. Select the whole thing. I think probably select all the edges. Press A for all. Go into Mesh, Edges, and go to Clear Seams. And that should clear all the seams you did. See, pop it back like that. Let me check. Throat's killing me. Okay, so yeah, see, you gave everything a seam, then that means every single polygon is its own separate unwrap. They call them islands. You want, really, for this one, you want two islands. You want the handle and the head, and that's it. So for yours, you would just select all of it, Mesh, Edges, clear the seams, and then you can probably do a Mesh and then a normal unwrap again. I should do it, but if it doesn't fix it still, you may have to go back in time a little bit. That's why I usually save iterations. So you do acts 1, acts 2, acts 3. So when you're done modeling, you save it. When you start unwrapping, you save it. And then when you're done unwrapping, you save it again. Blender files are really small, so it doesn't really matter. Oops. Make sure you have the live unwrap thing selected and that. So let's see. There we go. Check that out. That's that. And you might need to cut it a little bit further up here. And then on the head, you would just go, probably going to cut it all the way through. And see how that unfolds. Now you know you can go in here, and when you're doing your texture, you don't just apply a texture. You're gonna, I can even show you right now if you're interested. Is this something you guys are interested in, or? I don't know how you got the UV mode all backwards, but there we go. And then you can click the stretch button down here, and you can see how stretched it is. And then let me see your response. Okay, you guys are still interested. Yeah. So this is your first model. Obviously, I expect you to bomb your first model. It's just a learning process, obviously, but this one is actually pretty good. It can easily be saved, as I'm showing you. And this is the process you're going to use for unwrapping almost everything. It's unheard of that you'll press a button and smart unwrap will actually work. That's not usually the way to go. You want to do it by hand. My PC cost about $2,000, about maybe $2,100 with the monitor included. For like a really just bananas top of the line PC. So it's like, compared to an Apple laptop, you can get one for that price, And I got the fully water cooled, I got the GTX 1080 water cooled, like that was the majority of the budget because that was like $750. But if you guys are ever interested in getting your own computer, if you save up money or you're doing like a Christmas thing, you can always bring, run it by me first. I'll make sure you're choosing the right parts. And then you can always bring your parts into the mobile labs and we can build them together. I'm having one student that's going to do that pretty soon, one of these coming weeks. Oh, yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's the perfect place to start. I think the 1050 will even run VR. Yeah, so if you guys ever need a computer, I have a good PC, but what do you use for RAM? I've got 32 gigs of DDR4 right now with available slots for 128, which is overkill. 32 seems pretty good right now. I'm running all this, and I'm only at 20% RAM, See, if you have 8, you'll be close to maxed out already. Yeah, I'm using the Corsair Dominator Platinum DDR4. I think it's 3200. They're actually really nice. I got one that was like the same exact thing, but for some reason it wasn't compatible, so I had to swap them for these. But if you want a serious computer, if you have space, I got 100 up, 100 down. Most of the time, you know. So I'm a happy guy. I got plenty of internet. I got plenty of computer power. I just need time. If you're looking at this steel, ooh, you got me beat. Oh yeah, yeah. Time Warner only does, you know, they really limit your uploads, which for most people doesn't matter. But for me, sometimes it does because I will upload entire websites. You know, I upload YouTube videos. I have to download and upload massive files from websites sometimes in order to do maintenance and stuff, or like a whole website backup and then re-upload. So it is, yeah, for you. I mean, it doesn't even matter if you have 5 upload speed. That just means you start the YouTube download and upload and then you walk away. It's not a big deal. But if I'm trying to do a website and it's like, well, it's going to take all day or it's going to take an hour, it is handy. So if you guys are, if you're unwrapping still, you can unwrap in the UV editing window or in this window. So you can grab an edge here, and you know, if you press that stretch button, it shows you want it to be all blue. Blue is perfect. So this is perfect. We're good. I mean, there's a little tiny bit, but that's good. This is good, except for the top and bottom, right? So in order to relax that a bit, I'm just going to cut it one more time. Probably straight down the middle if I can. And remember, you hold shift to add to what you're selecting. And if you want to do a loop, you can hold alt. I'm just going to hold shift and select one edge on the top and bottom. You go to mesh, edge, mark seam, or you can press Control E, mark seam. That should cut it. Still not flattening me out all the way, but once you think you're pretty close to good with it, you can go in here, go to UVs, and go to minimize stretch. It doesn't work very well, does it? So let's just say we're happy with that, you know. I'll just say I'm happy with that. One thing you do want to do is you want to go to average island scale so that everything's roughly the same size. You can technically scale this up if you wanted to, and it wouldn't really matter. But you kind of want to be the same size. And then the last thing you want to do is pack islands. So if you pack them, okay, if you press UV pack islands, it'll put them in there as best it can. And then, whose axe is this again? Flynn, right? And then what you do is you basically just go UVs, export UV layout, and I'll just put it in here. Okay, so you can see now this is my UVs. When you're in here, let me turn this off. You can do this first. It depends on the item. If you want a high res one, you can do 2048. If you want a lower res one, you could do 1024. And then I usually would put a color grid on here and then just press OK. And then go over here and say texture so that we can take a look at it first. You can delete your lights in the scene and it'll make it oops. I don't know how you did this to the I just lost the thing. Great. I don't know how to go back to the default. Ah, shoot. Great. Well, I just got rid of it. I didn't save your thing. But let me show you texturing, I guess. Yeah, great. Now I have to redo it. Okay, well, I'll show you how fast it is then. Select it all. We're going to go to mesh, edges, clear the seams, go to unwrap the thing again, and whoa. Live unwrap, make sure this is on, and then mark the seam. There we go, done. Good enough. So let me save it out again. Let me show you what I was gonna do. You go to new. I'll do 2048 and do a color grid. Press OK, and it'll put the color grid down for you. This is just so you can see the stretching. You go into texture mode here. Get rid of your lamp. And now you should see that all of the letters roughly look the same size, and all of the squares roughly look square. And that they all flow together. You can see right here, that's where my seam is. But other than that, they all flow. You can see K1, K2, K3. So that's a good test of if your textures are stretching or not. Who's Swift Sweeper or Swifter Sweeper? And where do you see MIP map? I don't know. I don't use MIP maps. I don't know what that is. Yo, Swifter, who are you? All right, Flynn, you follow me? I know what a bitmap is. I don't know what a bitmap is. Oh, so a bitmap is like this. Images that get sequentially smaller. I guess these are kind of generated automatically. The suspense is killing us. Anyways, who cares? So Flynn, you got this, yeah? Go into UV editing, and then just go to UVs and export the UV layout, like I already did. Okay. And then you'll need GIMP or Photoshop or something. And then you have, okay, so another thing, your textures, Flynn. This one's fine. One of them looked too small though. This is too small. Too crummy. Again, go to textures.com, sign up for and there's tons of cool free textures here. If you want this kind of wood, maybe like this or something. Seamless, this one says seamless. That means you can repeat it forever, which is really cool. I'm gonna take this one. You can only get certain size. So this is too small for us, except this one is repeatable. So, so it'll be fine. I'll show you. There. Sorry, guys. Still sick. And the final texture you had was this, which is good enough. So this is one of the little Photoshop comes in handy. If you don't know Photoshop and you can't get it, then get GIMP. It's roughly the same. If you can get Photoshop, I recommend it, especially if you're doing 3D art or concept. It's $10 a month if you want to pay the monthly thing, or you can use the free one, like I said. Or, sorry, geez. I'll try to get Photoshop on the computers that I'm putting at the campuses, so you guys can use those. Oh, to export it, you just go to your new UV window over here, yeah? Go to UVs at the bottom, and go to export at the top. And that'll give you basically this. It'll give you this. What are we looking at? Oh, yeah, you got me, Nathan. Maybe we got somebody outside the class joining. I don't care. But it seems like he is in the class. Oh man, let me finish this, and then I'll yeah, I'm with you. Well, I don't know who he is. If he's a problem, we'll kick him out, but he doesn't seem to be a problem, so. Okay. Anyways, let me get this over with because we only got like 20 minutes. So get good size textures, yeah. Get some sort of imaging software. Then you're gonna want to pull them all in. How's that so tiny? I'm doing a 2048, which is a big image. It's okay though because yeah, I'm gonna find a bigger wood texture. When you're going to image searches, go to more or go to tools and go to size and go to large. Ideally, you want to go to usage rights and labeled for reuse, but that'll limit your. You can see at the bottom how big they are. I have a 2048 page, so I'm looking for something similar. That looks nice. I guess I'm not going to spend too much time. Okay, good enough for me. You want redwood? Well, find me a big image and send me the link. You did? Okay. That's good enough, yeah. I'll show you some tricks if you guys really care. So you know that this is the handle, right? So all we have to do is basically cover it with wood. So here's a couple tricks that I use. If you duplicate the layer, pull it down. This is for textures, Nathan. See how I pulled it down? You can still see the line here, right? Not good. So what I want to do is flip it. If you're using Photoshop, you can press Control-T, right-click, flip vertical. Now it'll match these things up exactly. That's one cheater way to do it. I know a few more. You can merge them together. Parker, you're not even doing models, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. If you guys are using Photoshop, I usually put the UVs at the top, so you can see where it lines up. Anything that's spilling over, it doesn't even matter at all. So I can just yeah, I'll do a little bit better. I can just chop it out. Doesn't matter. None of this matters. And then we just need to put the wrought iron on top of this. And again, it's a little too small, so I might need to do my trick and do a flippity floppity. Never stretch things bigger. Makes it worse. You can always shrink them down, just don't shrink them up. Shrink them up. Just make sure it's not on that part. And then you basically want the other part to cover right there, the metal, right? Not going to waste too much time. I pull this down, and I'm just going to use magnetic lasso in this case, and kind of roughly chop that up, and then add to this side. And there I go. It looks kind of dumb, but that's your texture. Make sense? Or is that crazy talk? Yeah, doesn't matter. Good enough. So the wood's covering that part, the black's covering where I need it, and the silver's covering where I need it. Usually you want to kind of overflow a little bit in case, just so it goes all the way to the edge at least. So that should be good. And then I'll show you what it looks like real quick. Just save it out. You can do a PNG or a Targa. For whatever reason, I like using Targas. We're going to call this Axe diffuse, or I just put Axe_D for diffuse. Diffuse is your color map. Some people put color, I put D. Save that in there. And then there's one more part I got to show you, but you can take a look in Blender real quick. Down here is where you put your texture. You just swap it out and say new. Oh wait, say open, and then find it. open it up and let's see if it worked. So it shows my texture right here. And if I look at it over here, you can see there it is. See my my wood grain goes all the way through. There is a texture seam right here, but it's barely visible. And then the head of the axe looks pretty decent too. Maybe a little stretching here, which you would just want to fix your UVs ahead of time. But that's the gist of it. Does that seem doable, Flynn? I can do this a few more times if you guys need it. You know, each week I can just model something for the game, you know? Okay. Yeah, so that's the workflow. Once you get used to it, it'll be second nature. But that's it. Model it out, unwrap it the way I showed you, where you just unwrap and then you go mark the seams. Make sure you have, when you tab into edit mode, make sure you have live unwrap clicked. And make sure you have this button clicked so you can see it update. So let's keep UV and edit mode in sync. And then you basically just export it, put your texture on top of it, pull it back in. I covered Unreal a little bit last week. But so that's your diffuse map. On top of that, I want you to get Crazy Bump if you don't already have Crazy Bump. And just go open photo from file and find your diffuse texture. Crazy Bump's not always going to work. In my case, I don't want it to show this as like a separate texture. Well, it won't really matter. You can load up your mesh too. So if I went in here and I did file, save as, actually we don't want to save, we want to export this thing as an FBX. Yeah, right. And then once you got your FBX, you can go into Crazy Bump and click down here. It says ball, and then you can load it up. Oh, you know what? It wants an OBJ, so export it as an OBJ. So you can see it on the thing itself. And what we're trying to do is create a normal map, which gives it the illusion of texture and like depth. So it's not terrible. What I would actually do is I would just hide this so you don't get that weird effect. So I would actually just redo it, and yeah, because otherwise it'll give you that bump on that other texture that we wouldn't really want. Okay, and then don't worry about it not showing the color. We're just worried about the bump. So we could do, well, that doesn't really help too much. Anyways, you're going to play with this till you like it. You can kind of see here, if I add the fine detail, it adds a lot of this grain. It also does specular too. So we're going to take normals and spec from this thing. Say you like it, you just go to save. You can do save all textures and then just delete the ones you don't need. So it'll give you don't need this one. But we don't need displacement or occlusion. We just need specular and normal. I don't need that either. And now the final step, let me just show you guys, and then I'll go over homework real quick. And then on Thursday, if there's anything you guys want to go over, just let me know. Shoot me an email and we can work on it on Thursday. Oops. So while it loads, I'll just go over what the homework is. Like usual, stay in touch with your team. Keep Hunter up to date and me. Start posting your stuff in these folders. I've noticed there's like nothing in these folders yet. They should be full. I should have a 3D model for everybody in here. And it's empty. So when you're done with your models, throw them in here. I'll show you how in 1 second. The only team that's really giving me a lot of stuff is programming, and that's because Zach's been really doing a good job lately. The design team, we have I threw these in there. We got kind of a rough overview of what the world might look like. They're going to be doing more in the next couple of weeks. But really, these things should just be full of all of your content. Concept team. Oh, I want to share this one with you guys. It's really cool. Sophie did some good job. Oh, she uploaded more for me too. Awesome. Sophie has done a pretty good job for concept. If you guys are on concept, you need to help her out too. So here's some concepts of our dude. What's his name? Jonathan Phoenix, right? Different outfit options. Here's one of the chicks. These are kind of like a little Pokemon-y, but we can stick with the cartoon style if you guys want. It does help with the ratings if you keep it more cartoon and playful. I like this one. Pretty cool. The Butcher. I mean, he's scary, but not. Yeah. It's kind of anime-like, but it's up to you guys if you want to go that style. We can. It's good though. It's a good starting point. It's something nice to look at. I like this character. Oops. This is good though. I mean, it could be reworked to a different style. So that's something the concept people are going to have to debate what style they want to go with. If you wanted to take this pose and rework it to a realistic style, it wouldn't take all that much changing. These obviously will change the names to, Dream Monster 1, Dream Monster 2. Yeah, the giant butcher monster. Trent Worthington did this one. Kind of cool too. Yeah. The other thing I would say about this one is you need to make sure that the muscles look like they would connect. Unless we're going for anime or a cartoon style, then the anatomy doesn't have to necessarily make perfect sense. But that one's cool too. So we have some concept stuff. All of the folders should be like this. I should have all my folders should be full of stuff. So as you guys work, start popping stuff in there. QA, if you're on QA, I told you start coming up with game mechanic ideas and more storyline ideas, and give me some write-ups. But let me finish what I was doing real quick here. Yeah, there's some good ones, right? So we're, baby steps. We're just starting out, but this thing will start to snowball, hopefully, if you guys put some effort into it. All right, so we should have a folder for all of our assets, but for now, I'm just going to do oops. Okay, I'll rearrange the content later, but so you get a folder for your axe. We're going to import all of the stuff. So axe, we need the usually you do an FBX. Let me save out an FBX. So export FBX and put that in there. Try to keep all the names the same. Import, I want my FBX, my normal map, and my diffuse map, and my spec map. Leave that as is, I guess. A skeletal mesh. There's one more thing we might have problems with, but I'll get to that later. There's something called smoothing groups if you want to look into it. So yeah, this is not. It needs smoothing groups, but I'll cover that Thursday if you want. So at any rate, you go in here, you right click, you go material. We're doing axe _ material. Then you just click each one, hold the letter T, and then click in here, and it'll do textures. Bring your texture in there. Click it, click in here, hold T, and then click. And you're just connecting the things. So you connect this to base, connect this to spec, and this one to normals. And that should do it. Press apply up there, close it out. Now you have your material. You open up the axe and You go to material here. Let me see. And you can select your material, and I think you just add material slot, and you just click use selected asset from browser, and then there you go. Now you got an axe with the material in the game, and we could now drag it in, and it's 100 feet tall. So, it's a giant axe. So obviously scaling is important, but it's fine. It's not that big of a deal. We can always scale it down. Okay, so there we go, and press build, and then you can press play. This is meant for VR, and I don't have the VR hooked up at the moment. And this is on preview quality, so somewhere in here there's you can change it to actual quality. I'll jump in here later and take a screenshot of it with actual quality. I just need to, I guess, we need to find a way to be able to test it without the headset. That's one thing we need to do. Oh, and then finally, so you've done this, right? You've got the axe done. I need you to export everything in order to submit this. So click the beginning, hold shift, click in the end, right click it, go to asset actions, and go to export. Then this will be everything I need from you. Save it, save it, save it, just keep saving it. Okay, so that's everything I need. And now you can see I got my final folder with the 5 things. I need the model, the diffuse texture, normal texture, spec texture, and the material. This actually has the information for what the material is right here. And then that way, whoever's working on this game can grab this stuff, throw it in the engine, and they can be working on it too. Oops. Make sense? We can do profit sharing. We can, that's something maybe you want to come up with, Hunter, since you're the producer. But it would kind of probably be something like based on your contribution. I don't know if you want to split it evenly if there's students that didn't do anything. So we could, have all the team leads sit down and say, okay, he did this much, I did this much, and then just divide it into percentages. And, if you did 10% of the work, you get 10% of the money, and so on. Yeah, come up with, it's up to you. You can come up with something more clever than that. Or we can just say, if you really didn't contribute all that much, you're out. The core group are the ones getting paid, or however we want to do it. So that's for my modelers and for my concept people too. QA guys, if you want to model a little bit too, in the meantime, that'd be helpful as well. We have book work like normal, just 5 points. But the big project, as you can see right here, it's going to be 12 points per week. So that's 120 minutes. That's 2 hours per week for a total of 6 hours. Yes, we do need a Kickstarter page. But first we need concept art, we need a small video, and we need a logo, and we need a nice description. And then, yeah, Kickstarter it up for sure. So I'll cover this. This is going to be a 3-week project. I'll cover it every week. And I'll try to go in and do a demo for each team. Like this week, I pretty much did the art team. So your goal, if you're on the 3D art team, is to create a 3D model of a basic in-game asset. You could do castle ruins, trees, weapons, item pickups, potions, stuff like that. It needs to be unwrapped, textured. I need diffuse, normal spec, and material, and the model. Just like I just showed you, pop them into Unreal, make sure it works, export them out, and then upload them into your folder here. So this is exactly what you do. When you're done, you just grab them all, pop them in there. I think these textures are going to be too big. We'll probably have to do 1024s because that's too big. We can always make the texture smaller. It's not going to affect anything. But anyways, that's so everybody should have a folder if you're doing 3D art. If you're doing concept, I want some drawings of basic in-game assets. If people get them done fast enough, then you guys can use them for your 3D art. If not, then they'll just be the next batch of models. But start with like shapes, and then find an appealing shape, and then go from there and break it down. Again, basic assets, not characters or enemies. I want things that my modeling team can work on eventually, and programming can use them, like potions, maybe a backpack, a map or something, some weapons, things that we would use in the game. Design guys, I want a top-down of one of these zones, or you can create your own zone. But I want it like fully fleshed out. Go look online for game maps, and I want them to look like as detailed as a regular game map. Even more so, where you can show me where all the puzzles, interactions, paths, AI, pickups, all that stuff. As much detail as possible. Programming guys, Zach's really doing a good job. So if you want to talk to him, he seems to have a grasp on blueprints. But start researching and learning a blueprint. So give me one blueprint function at least, whether it's enemies, projectiles, platforms, maybe some VR controls so we could test with and without. Audio, it'd be nice to have a lantern or a flashlight, some puzzles, some crafting, stuff like that. Zach already did health and inventory, but it's the first attempt at it. And if you don't want to do that and you're interested in something else, I do need somebody to do particle effects. I'll try to cover that soon. Particle effects using Cascade is really fun and cool. So if you're interested, you can take a look at that. QA, like I said, I need some game mechanics and some storyline. Otherwise, you can do 3D models. Audio and animation, your small teams, just read this up and contact me if you have any difficulties. Right now, audio is just hunting for audio tracks and getting used to putting them in the engine. Animation, you can either do particles, you can practice rigging or animating, or you can work on exporting the default character rig from Unreal and trying to apply that to a character. So I will, there's only one animator, so contact me if you need some help. But that's it. I'm out of time. This is 3 weeks, so regardless of what you do, spend at least 6 hours on it. If you spend more time, let me know. I can use it as a alternate for something else. So that's it for today. For blueprints, you don't need to use any C++ at all. You just you would just go into blueprints and you would create nodes and connect them to other nodes. Stuff like that. There's actually no coding. You don't need any code. So I'll try to do a blueprint demo either Thursday or Tuesday. I'll come up with some sort of quick demo. Maybe even Zach can do a demo for us too, since he's been doing pretty well. So if you want to just start thinking about what you want to do, shoot me an email if you don't know how to do it, and I'll help you with it. And otherwise, we'll just be kind of working on this, and I'll be checking in weekly for 3 weeks. And that's it. Again, if you want to learn one of these things, contact me tonight or tomorrow so I can prep for it on Thursday. Oh, wrong thing. What's going on? Oh, anyways, Mobile Labs. Next one's going to be in Santa Ana. Actually, you know what? Yeah, next Monday, Santa Ana. And then finally, I need field trip stuff. Yes, I need your field trip permission slips, preferably today. Tomorrow is your last chance. If you want to go and you didn't get a permission slip, let me know. Shoot me an email, and I'll send you one. Hunter and Parker, I have one for Chaperone. I'll send that to you in a second. If anybody else is going, though, get them to me like today. I need them ASAP. It'll be a lot of fun. And you'll get to see how college level people are doing all the same stuff. So that's it. Any questions before we go? The field trip, it's March 1st. We're leaving at 7:20 a.m., I think. And LA Film School. Send me your email and I'll send you the details if you want. You just need to get over to Temecula in the morning on Wednesday, and then we'll take a bus together. Yeah, shoot me an email so I don't forget. Then I'll respond to you right now. But I need it back today, guys, okay? Because it's next week. It's next Wednesday. All right, that's it. Oh, bring your own lunch. Sorry. Pack a lunch.
I got a new thing.
Okay, so. All right, guys. Well, I got to go. Shoot me emails if you need anything. Have a good one. I'll talk to you on Wednesday. Later.